So I've mentioned previously that in Java we have basic calculator ability, and we can do that with variables or within print statements. So for example, if I make just a couple ints, I'll make an int a called 8, and I'll make a b value worth 2 and a c value worth 10. If I wanted to carry out some mathematical operations now I could. In fact, I could make a new variable, maybe I'll call it d, and I'll say d equals a plus b times c. Okay? If I were to print this new value for d, let's see what we get. Okay, I got 28. So how did I get the number 28 in this print statement? Well, okay, so if we look at that math operation I gave, it was 8 plus 2 times 10. So just like in your algebra class, okay, multiplication comes before addition. If you did 8 plus 2 first, you'd get 10, and then if you multiplied by 10, you'd get 100. Well, it didn't print 100, it printed 28. And the reason it printed 28 is just like in an algebra class, the multiplication came first. Okay? You maybe have heard your teachers use the word PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses and exponents come first, followed by multiplication and division, and lastly addition and subtraction. So in this problem, the multiplication came before the addition. If you'd like to see more on the order of operations in terms of Java, you could look at the textbook, Appendix H. And in Appendix H, we see a very large table on order operator precedence. We're not even really going to learn all these symbols. Okay, they're not all part of the AP Java subset, but we are going to use some of them today. And so right here, parentheses take over everything. Okay. If we scroll down a little bit here, we see the addition or concatenation if you're working with strings, subtraction, we see multiplication and division as we've mentioned before. And we have this operator here too called modulus. Modulus is like division, however it refers to the remainder. Okay, so let's try out the modulus operator. This can be a little confusing to students the first time they see it. The modulus operator is just like you're going back to, I don't know, like 4th grade, and you're doing some long division problems. So for example, what if you took the number 1,234 and you divided it by 10? Well, if you did that, you would get 123.4 is probably how you would think of it. But if you went back to 4th grade, before you really learned about decimals, your teacher would have taught you that the answer to that question was 123 remainder 4. Okay, so if you divide 10 into 1,234, it goes 123 times evenly, and then there's a remainder of 4. Well, that's what the modulus operator would print. So if I turn this from a division problem into what we call a modulus problem, okay, that's the percentage key, this should print the number 4 on the screen. So I'm going to turn off this line of code right here, and let's run this. And this is our modulus operator. Let's see if we get the number 4 to print on the screen. Okay, sure enough, there's the number 4, just like we thought. All right, so again, what that was the modulus, which is just a division, however, it's the remainder. Okay, I've seen before my students sometimes get really confused when we do system out print ln and we give it something like this, like 2 modulus 7. This is an easy problem, but sometimes students kind of overcomplicate it. So kind of the question here would be like, how many times can 7 go into 2? Okay, well the answer is 0 times. Okay, so the number 7 goes into the number 2 0 times, and there's a remainder of 2. So this should print the number 2 on the screen. Let's see if it does. Okay, and sure enough, it printed the number 2 right there.